All right, so I am on my way to the reptile store, and kind of wanted to talk about different people. I mean, who we call shills or hypocrites and this and that. Well, since I'm on my way to the reptile store, I wanted to, made me think about reptiles and snakes and what we're supposed to be and who we should talk against, who we shouldn't, who should we point out, who should we just remain quiet about. And I have actually, over the years, somewhat shifted my view a little bit. I mean, I pretty much think we should call people out, especially in personal circumstances, when we're in private settings, or if somebody is there. We shouldn't be afraid of speaking our mind and letting people know where we stand and what we believe in, just like they shouldn't be afraid to tell us the same thing. So, but anyway, there just seems to be a lot of this going, so-and-so is a shill, so-and-so is not telling the truth. And, well, that may be true, but at the same time, I know for myself, whether it's Richie from Boston or Alex Jones or Rachel Reenstra or even Rush Limbaugh, all these people, if you're going to hold any sort of a moral code or anything like that, at one time or another, you're going to be a hypocrite, because we're all human beings. And, if I was as public as some of these people are, I don't really know what exactly I would say about certain things. And I wouldn't necessarily want to be held, I said this 10 years ago, and, I still feel exactly the same now. Well, I mean, yes, there's something to standing by your word and being consistent, but at the same time, I do think we should afford some people some leeway for growth as human beings and as people. And I'm reminded of the parable that Jesus told, where the master sowed grain in the field, and at night, the enemy came and sowed tares amongst the grain, and the servants came and said, Master, they came and sowed the tares amongst the grain. Should we go pull it out? And the master said, no, let them grow side by side, because you might pull out the good grain with the bad. And I think there's more of that, so I think we can all be discerning. We should ask for the spirit of discernment. We should ask for wisdom. God has promised to give us wisdom if we ask for it. It's all throughout the Proverbs. There are several places in the Bible where God has promised to give wisdom to those who ask for it. And so, Heavenly Father, I pray that you help me. I pray that you help me be wise and discerning. And I pray that for everybody that's going to watch this, everybody out there who wants to know the truth. And when you're actively involved in searching for the truth, well, you're going to be discerning, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think we should be discerning. We should discern the spirits to know whether or not they are true, right? And so you can find truth. I mean, I'm not going to agree with everything that, anybody says, really. And, but you can still find truth in certain places. I mean, that's what makes lies good. The lie is good because it's full of truth, right? Well, just be discerning. When you're listening to certain people, be discerning about what they're saying. And, pull out the truth and then leave it. But I'm not going to call, I don't know, for some reason I'm totally drawing a blank on names right now, but you know what I'm saying? There are people who don't hold your worldview that can still give you truth. In fact, I stumbled across a podcast called The Art of Charm, and it is it's like a self-improvement. It's a self-improvement podcast, and they just talk about, body language and just about how to make yourself better. They talk about taking the little steps, and I don't know. They have it all broken down, different things, but just giving you tools to be a more high-value person. You want to be a high-value person, especially as Christians. I think we should want to be high-value, helpful people. And if we're just calling everybody out and calling them a shill and whatever, maybe they are. But also, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know what they're being threatened with. We don't know who they are protecting doing what. I mean, whether it's the president, whether it's Donald Trump, I know it's so difficult because I don't know who to trust, and I don't know what's real and what isn't. I do think the president is compromised. I mean, why would he send in missiles to Syria on such flimsy stuff? Why would we kick Russian ambassadors out over this made up poisoning over there in London? The supposed spy got poisoned, and it's both of those instances that I just referenced have been now come out as hoaxes and made up, right? That they've been somewhat false flags. Man, I just had to go through there. Anyway, the stories weren't what they appeared to be, and the supposed chemical attack, this last one over in Syria, was now found to be completely made up. And the other poisoning of the Russian spy has also, it wasn't, the agent wasn't what they said it was, whatever this poison was, and they're recovering. And the long story short is things aren't what they seem. And the president knows this stuff, right? But then he sends missiles in there and does whatever. So, I mean, I know he's got to be, somewhat compromised, right? And it's just amazing to me. How do I flip this around? Look at these different views. Oh, well, it's not going to work. There's this guy skating over there. He was doing some cool tricks. I wanted to show it, but anyway. So whether it's Richie from Boston, whether it's the president, whether it's Alex Jones, I mean, I know there are certain things that these people don't talk about, but I also know that there's a lot of things that I don't know. So take and do with that what you will. but let's be discerning, and let's try not to just attack one another. And let's let the wheat and the tares grow, because people do change, and people can change, and we don't want to tear things up too quickly. That's all I'm saying. So stay strong, keep looking up, and God bless. Have a great day.